Let's be real. Have you ever wished for a pill that could just help you conquer a brutal workday? Or maybe push through a mind-numbing study session? Just something to help you master the insane demands of modern life? Well, for millions of people, that pill is an amphetamine. So today, let's dive into the promise and the peril of this powerful tool for mastering reality.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, get this. In the United States alone, over 4 million people are illegally using prescription stimulants. That makes it one of the fastest growing drug markets in the entire world, second only to cannabis.
And you can see the appeal, right? I mean, we've given these drugs to soldiers to help them fight harder, and we give them to kids to help them focus in school. They promise to supercharge our brains, making us faster, sharper, and way more resilient than we were ever meant to be. But what exactly are they, and how in the world do they work?
And that really gets to the heart of their allure. See, unlike a lot of drugs people use to escape reality, amphetamines promise to help us master it. They tap directly into our deepest needs for focus and motivation, which makes them the perfect and maybe the most dangerous tool for our hyper-competitive times. Okay, so broadly speaking, they come in three main flavors. First, you've got your plain amphetamine. That's stuff like the prescription drugs Adderall and Vyvanse. Then you have the much more potent methamphetamine. You know it is meth. And finally, there's MDMA, or ecstasy. For this explainer, we're going to focus on that first category, the prescription-style stuff. So how do these little pills actually create that feeling of, like, superhuman focus? Well, the magic, or really the chemistry, all happens inside your brain. And it's a fascinating process that really boils down to two key chemicals. First up, you've got dopamine. You can think of this as your motivation chemical. It's that rush you get when you're about to accomplish something you've worked hard for. What amphetamines do is they basically trick your brain into flooding itself with dopamine, which makes even the most boring, tedious tasks feel incredibly important and engaging. But, motivation is pretty useless without execution. And that is where noradrenaline comes in. This is the chemical that makes your mind sharp, awake, and alert. It's the thing that lets you lock in and focus your mental energy to actually act on all that newfound motivation. And this is the absolute key. It's the synergy between these two. You can think of it like this. Dopamine provides the wanting, right? The drive, while noradrenaline provides the doing, the focus. It's this 1-2 punch that makes you not just motivated, but powerfully, incredibly effective for hours and hours on end. And the state this creates is, well, it's incredible. It feels like you're plugged into some hidden power source. Your attention is just locked in, your mood is up, distractions just melt away, and unlike other stimulants that give you a quick peak and then a crash, amphetamines can hold you in this flow state for anywhere from 4 to a whopping 14 hours. Now, of course, there's a huge medical reason for all of this. For people with ADHD, their brains are kind of constantly searching for a sense of reward that never seems to arrive. Amphetamines step in and provide that reward chemically. They can truly turn a scattered, easily distracted brain into a focused one.
Okay, so at this point, I know what you're thinking. This is starting to sound like a commercial for some kind of miracle drug, right? An easy fix for all the things so many of us struggle with. But as we all know, nothing in life comes for free. There's a very, very real catch.
And that brings us to the dark side of amphetamines, because for every single supercharged high, there is an inevitable crash. And that crash comes with some serious costs. The negative side can start off pretty small. You might get that intense focus, but it's on the wrong thing, like cleaning your keyboard for 3 hours instead of writing that paper. The same chemicals that give you focus can also make you feel tense, anxious, or even trigger full-blown panic attacks. You can become irritable, impatient, just not very fun to be around.
And here's the real paradox. You'd think taking a higher dose would mean better results, right?
Nope. Too much can completely flip the switch and reverse all the good effects, leaving you a restless, overthinking mess who can't focus on anything. And if you have a bad trip, you could be stuck like that for hours.
And this is how the trap gets set. See, after the drug wears off, the come down can be brutal. We're talking extreme exhaustion, low mood, and serious anxiety. This creates a powerful temptation to just take another dose, just to feel normal again. And over time, your body builds a tolerance. What started as a tool for performance slowly becomes a crutch you need just to function.
Beyond dependency, the risks get even more serious. That same flood of chemicals that supercharges your brain can also overwhelm it completely. It can blur the line between what's a real signal and what's just noise, leading to psychosis, a full break from reality where you just can't tell what's real anymore. For most people, this fades, but for some, it can trigger something permanent.
And it's not just your brain that's at risk. Remember how these drugs put you into a constant state of fight or flight? Well, that constant stress speeds up your heart and jacks up your blood pressure. Over time, this literally damages your blood vessels and forces your heart to work much, much harder than it should. In high enough doses, we're not talking about a long-term risk anymore. It's an immediate one. Amphetamines can trigger absolutely catastrophic events like heart attacks, torn arteries, or strokes, even in young, otherwise perfectly healthy people.
So, where does that leave us? Are amphetamines good or are they bad? The truth is, they exist in this massive and really dangerous gray zone. It's not a simple question, and there's definitely no simple answer.
And this really gets to the critical distinction we have to make. For someone with a diagnosed condition like ADHD, taking a low dose under a doctor's supervision can be an effective, even life-changing treatment. But for a healthy person who's just using it as a performance enhancer, especially long-term, all the evidence suggests it is probably harmful.
And maybe this is the most important takeaway of all. While you can use this drug to brute force your mind and body to perform right now, it doesn't actually help you build better habits. It doesn't help you grow as a person or develop any sustainable skills for the long haul.
Which leaves us with this final question to think about. A pill might offer you a shortcut to conquering today's challenges, but in the long run, is it actually helping you build a better version of yourself? That's the real price of this powerful tool, and it's something worth thinking long and hard about.